This is the most excited I've been for a new Pokemon release in Pokemon Unite. If you guys remember, I did a video on the top 10 Pokemon I want to see in the game, and Decidueye is number 1 because the theme is perfect for the game, especially as an AD carry, and I feel like this Pokemon looks amazing and is underrepresented in the franchise, so we get to have our boy in the game, but I'm heartbroken. November 19th, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl release. You guys know I work hard. You guys know I put everything into my videos, and I do insane amounts of content. If I tried to do the release of a new main series Pokemon game, as well as coverage of a new Pokemon Unite Pokemon, that might actually kill me. Like, that's beyond my limit. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. It makes me sad, but I still want to break down the moveset because there's some weird stuff that goes on in Pokemon Unite. We have a big update patch, and then there's game data for other Pokemon. We saw this with the mobile release. Inside the mobile release, we had Mamoswine and Sylveon fully functioning, and all they had to do was turn on the Pokemon without any kind of update. That's what's happening with Decidueye. We know everything about it because of data mining, because Decidueye's in the game right now. So with all that pretext out of the way, let's see what's going on with Decidueye. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. So we have a level 5, level 7, level 9 Unite move evolution Pokemon, and it's going to be like Cinderace in that you get your new move upgrades at level 7 and level 8. So we got that. Intermediate difficulty, like all the stats just don't matter from what I've learned in Pokemon Unite. Like we can go to Poke Experto. I didn't have this set up, but you know what? It's worth noting. All these stats completely fraudulent. Do not make any sense inside the game. Zeraora is 3.5 offense. Pikachu is 4.5. And Lucario is given a 3. Think about it. So yeah, none of that means anything to me. The intermediate, so we have long-range attacker, AD carry, duh, that makes a lot of sense. So let's get into what happens. Ability, remote, deals more damage to distant enemy Pokemon. That actually sounds really cool, and I think there aren't really any MOBA characters with a direct passive like this. Now, I know there are rewards for playing at range and stuff, but nothing just this direct and straightforward as your passive ability. So that sounds really cool, and it gets even cooler when you think about the gameplay implications. Because if you get dove on, you don't have a passive. But if you're actually playing successfully, you're being a Giga Hyper Carry. So I think that's really cool how it's going to interact inside the game. And it also really shows what your goals are going to be on the Pokemon. So that's pretty awesome. And then we have Leafage. Throws leaves in a chosen direction, dealing damage to enemy Pokemon it hits, increasing the user's attack and movement speed for a short time. Now, I feel like an attack increase, unless it's like a strangely high flat number, doesn't really matter. It's like, oh boy, I get a 15 or 20% attack increase at level 4 when I have like 200 attack. Maybe even less attack than that. It takes Greninja until its evolution to break 200 attack, but also items and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to see that. It doesn't really feel like it's going to matter too much. However, we hold on to this move for a while because we're getting those later upgrades to our moves since it's at level 7 and level 8. So it might actually get slightly meaningful depending on like the evolutions and breakpoints. But I feel like it's going to be like Froakie's bubble until you get your, at least into Dartrix. So we got that going on. And then we have Impress. I'm guessing that's some kind of like translation thing. Deals damage to the opposing Pokemon and slows their movement speed for a short time. Yeah, it just sounds like, okay, you slow them down, you speed them up, and then you go pew-pew or something. Maybe viable in the jungle. I really like high-pressure, crazy ganking Pokemon to really snowball you and get you ahead. But if you can actually like come out of the jungle, land that slow, speed up on your Leafage, and then actually like have a very strong gank, that's pretty cool. But I don't know, I don't see this as a high-tier jungler. A lot of scaling jungles do kind of struggle with that, but we're going to see how that plays out. Oh, right, and the basic attack passive increases the speed of basic attacks for a short time after one hits. Okay, so auto attacks increase your attack speed. Cool. The effect can stack, and with every third activation of this effect, basic attacks become boosted for a short time. So instead of getting a boost attack every third auto attack, third successive, like 3 quick auto attacks will just give you boosted auto attacks. Boosted auto attacks fire more quills, but the damage dealt by each quill is decreased. So you just get like little extra hits on top of your basic attack. I don't know how much more damage it is. A lot of the empowered basic attacks in general in the game aren't like super crazy and don't do crazy amounts of like enhanced damage. And then your boosted out attacks do like 25% more damage or something with the mini quills. That sounds about right. But my question is if there's an uptime and a downtime, like 1, 2, 3, empowered, 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 1, 2, 3, empowered, 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 or as long as you're always auto attacking, it just keeps up your empowereds. I don't know. Gonna be a weird Pokemon to play, and I'm excited to learn it. It's gonna be fun. Next up, we have our upgraded moves. So Sharp Blade calls a swirl of blades that increases your attack and basic attack speed for a short time. Now, the thing is, that actually sounds fine, like just having an ability steroid on an AD carry that gives you attack and attack speed. Done. GG. Easy. That's enough for the move. But no, there's actually more to this move's effect. The user's basic attacks can hit multiple opposing Pokemon for a short time. Okay, that's broken. Like, a chain auto attack that also gives you attack. Like, that seems like the 100% pick. Now, there is a leaked gameplay showcase of Decidueye, but I ain't going anywhere near that because I'm already not on Tencent's good side by talking about unreleased content. But if I play the straight up video that's going to go on their official outlets and their channels, because that's what it is. It's kind of like when they show the little intro and then a couple move usages and then the Pokemon doing a dunk and then Unite move and then like showing off the character. Like, that's what it is. It is the gameplay showcase that the official outlets are going to use. If I leak that early, I'm definitely getting a strike. So I'm not chancing that at all. So yeah, like you see, it actually looks pretty cool. It looks pretty crazy. Sharp Blade Plus increases the damage of the basic attacks the more hit points the opposing Pokemon has left. Now, I'm personally not a big fan of Muscle Band on pretty much any Pokemon except for Venusaur because the attack speed doesn't matter and the 3% current health also doesn't really matter, especially with like shields and like other teammates bursting down the enemy and stuff. You don't really get any value out of the item, so I really feel like this could be a 100% scope lens play. And then you need Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, and GG easy, that's going to be it. But I'm wondering if you just get rid of Focus Band because it's not going to do anything to keep you alive because you're so frail. That's one thing we learned with Sylveon and a couple of other Pokemons where it's like, yeah, you need to KO them instantly, or really Focus Band isn't going to have enough time to proc, and even if you like do survive because of Focus Band, it goes on cooldown. So you effectively don't have an item, which isn't good on Pokemon like AD carries that need to be putting out consistent damage. So I'm wondering if stacking Muscle Band with this is going to be good, or if Muscle Band's still just like a trash item and you're getting better, just better stuff off the Razor Claw. Because that crit chance could matter. I'm betting it's going to get 30% crit at level, what is it, 9? Like Cinderace and Greninja. And also when you look at this, it increases the damage the more hit points they have left. Well, that means you're actually going to be knocking yourself out of Muscle Band effectiveness faster because you're going to be like doubling up on it and then they immediately drop down to like half health or something, which means your passive and your Muscle Band, even though like it is a lot of upfront damage, then they just don't really do as much. So that's going to be interesting. Or then you just go attack weight. Like if this Pokemon has enough pressure to score 3 times or something and then you're just getting crazy consistent damage, that might be something to take in consideration. So yeah, like Scopeland seems like the must. Buddy Barrier Focus Band, that's the bread and butter that you need to have, and maybe something else comes out of that. Shadow Stitch, charge forward, throwing points in a chosen direction. Spike damage increases the longer the attack charges, reducing its travel speed. If the move is fully charged, it catches the shadow of the opposing Pokemon on the ground. The affected Pokemon takes damage if it moves a certain distance from the place of origin, and its movement speed is reduced for a short time. Deals additional damage to Pokemon with low hit points remaining. So this just looks like a big arrow. You charge it up a little bit like Varus's Q. You release it, and then it has like a lot of other effects on it. This might also be the play. Like, I was looking at this, I'm like, why would I want anything other than Sharp Blade, which is also going to be like tagging multiple people inside a team fight? If the enemies get clumped up in a team fight, you just have Cramorant's Unite move, but better on a basic ability. That sounds pretty crazy, and even if you hit like multiple people with the arrow and it does crazy damage, I think you still get more damage out of this, just in a team fight or something. But it also ended up being like Cinderace's Powerball, which is just way too much disgusting damage, so I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I don't really care about the like extra thing where it's like, oh, they take damage if they move a certain distance from the origin and their speed is reduced. And then at level 8, we have Rain Leaf. Creates a tempest of sharp blades, dealing damage to the opposing Pokemon it hits and slowing movement speed for a short time, pushing off enemy Pokemon. Yeah, I think Decidueye needs that so it doesn't get completely obliterated. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to think about, where it's like, it doesn't really give you too much extra damage or anything too crazy, but it's like, hey, I get a little bit of safety, and then I just get to rain auto attacks for a bit. We'll see how that plays out. Increases the time to reduce the movement speed of opposing Pokemon, so the upgrade just makes it to where they're slowed longer. Seems alright. Vile Shadow creates a shadow that traps one of the opponent's Pokemon in an area of effect, dealing damage to him and reducing its defense and movement speed for a short time. Also increases the user's scrolling speed for a short time. It's either too late for me or scrolling speed is some kind of translation I can't comprehend, but I know the comments are going to probably have it out for me. I refuse to accept scrolling speed literally meaning the speed that you can move your camera. Unless, like, that doesn't make any sense that that's a mechanic that can be manipulated by other abilities or is like better on certain Pokemon when it's about vision and map information. It kind of slightly makes sense maybe if he's like Giga long range to where everything is off screen, in which case that's just broken, but you'd also need to scroll the screen faster for target acquisition. I don't think his basic attack range is going to be that long, maybe for like casting abilities and lining things up, or also like setting up your Unite move. But they already have it to where if something is off range, you can just use the setting to where the ability will trace and move your camera with it. So that's what I mean, like, I don't know what this could mean. But here we go. Here is the Spirit Shackle move that everyone wanted to see on Decidueye, and the concept of it, where it's like you just trap someone, even like a 1v1 or even like a 1v2 scenario, and then you also like AoE people out, like that's gonna be really cool. Should be a skill shot, and if you miss it, then that's kind of a really big feels bad. How much it traps them is also going to be interesting, and how that mechanic is going to work or be fair inside of Pokemon Unite. But yeah, it just kind of seems like if you trap someone that can't go unstoppable, they just kind of lose the game. Or even if like they're a ranged character and you outrange them on just your auto attacks, you just get to sit there and then they get KO'd within that span. So that could be like the ultimate pick-off ability, or it could also create a lot of really weird stuff that happens in team fights, where like you just kind of catch someone on the edge of the team fight, boom, 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 they're dead, 5v4, let it just kind of play out. And then going off of the gameplay video that again is like leaked, then I don't want to cover too much. The Unite move is absolutely ridiculous. You just create a line and then you throw arrows into that line for what seems like an unforgivably long amount of time. Like you just sit there and you just drill someone. So you throw spikes in the chosen direction, dealing damage to the opposing Pokemon. The attack ends by launching a very large spike that deals damage to all Pokemon hits. So yeah, that is the thing about the Unite move, like the first Pokemon hit eats the hit and then it doesn't go any further, even though it like does have the full range, and then the last one does hit everything. So it's like Cramorant's Unite move in the way that a tank getting in the way can just really absorb it, which makes it kind of easy to stop. But that's why I like this, like at least that last hit. If that last hit does a lot of damage and also has that built-in execute damage into it, then it might not matter. Then I guess you just kind of sit there. It's like, all right, I'm going to soften up the tank. And if you can still hit multiple people behind the tank at the end of it, probably going to be really strong. And it also, it's pretty much like Razor Leaf, but bigger, like much bigger, and baked into Unite moves, so also like crazy amounts of damage. But I'm really excited for this Unite move. It looks like it's going to be really cool and really fun to throw out at team fights. And I think maybe the reason why it just like goes on and on and on for so long is to make it harder to steal Zapdos with, because you know it's not going to be like a big instant Unite move like Cinderace's ult or Venusaur's ult, or even an ability like Venusaur's Solar Beam or something else that tries to like steal Zapdos. So it's not going to be super reliable for that, but it's really meant for like the team fight. You know, it's either going to cause people to scatter off of that, in which case breaking up a death ball is still really cool, but if there's like a choke point or crowd control or an objective or something, then Decidueye is still gonna be really strong on it. I just think of like how cool the idea of literally mowing through your opponent's team with leaves is going to be, because like if the person in front gets KO'd and there's someone behind them, well now they're the one getting drilled by your Unite move. That's gonna be pretty cool. And then also the last hit, like if it still just lines up to where the last hit pierces everyone, That'd be pretty strong. Like, it seems more like a power fantasy, though. Kind of like how Psyshock, like Gardevoir, using Psyshock. If you haven't played Gardevoir, you need to, just to understand how fun it is to, like, roll around, just, like, casting out Psyshock and blowing people up. The thing is, the move itself isn't busted and can be pretty hard to land or easily, like, kited out, or if, like, someone just dashes through the ability onto you, you can't do anything, and then you're still casting it a couple more times. So it's, like, it's just a really fun idea. Like, it's a really fun power fantasy concept, even though the move itself isn't broken. That might actually be how this Unite move is, to where it looks impressive, it looks cool, it feels incredible, but it's not going to be, like, the most giga reliable thing ever. However, it could also just be a major objective thing. You just throw it onto Dreadnought, and then you take Dreadnought, and also you don't need a secure tool. A really powerful ability or Unite move that actually weakens Zapdos to make it easier for your team to secure could also be really cool. Or just burning it down, you know, Zapdos instantly spawns. Or what about the tech? You start the move at 2:01 on the clock, and then Zapdos gets instantly melted, or also using Fluffy Tail on the Zapdos. Now, I wonder, like, what the timing is going to be, because you would want that Fluffy Tail to get the last proc of your Unite move. But I mean, like, there's the devs, that would be, like, the first thing the devs test, right? Just like, hey, what if I started Zapdos? You can't one-shot Zapdos with anything, mostly. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting, but, like, actually using it instead of, like, a secure Unite move, but as, like, an instant burn down Unite move, and then your team is, like, there just securing it with you, and then you also might need, like, some kind of execution ability on top of Cinderace, so, like, or not Cinderace, on top of Decidueye, and then, like, teaming it up. Like, this could actually just be great for Zapdos fighting. However, it depends on also, like, you might have to go into the pit, because if you're not in the pit, then someone can, like, cut it off between you and Zapdos, but if you're in the pit, then you're in all the fighting. So there might just be some kind of cheese or shenanigans or, like, really interesting, like, team fight stuff around this, or pretty much the rule applies that you save your Unite move for Zapdos. However, there's some Pokemon that really don't have that great of a Unite move, and they're still really strong Pokemon regardless. Like Talonflame, you know, Talonflame's just busted right now because the Fly cooldown buff, base attack buff, and also the passive bug fix just made the Pokemon ridiculous, and then also adaptations to playstyles and game knowledge and just, like, kind of solving the Pokemon have made it very oppressive. Greninja's Unite move really isn't that great. Lucario's is really good, but it's used very specifically, and you kind of have to point blank an objective with it, or else, like, it can pretty much just do nothing, or it's easy to kind of dodge out of the way as an opponent. So yeah, there's, like, a lot of Unite moves that don't really accomplish too much inside the game. If Decidueye is just really strong as an AD carry, it doesn't matter. Like, Cinderace's Unite move is really cool, but Cinderace doesn't need its Unite move to wipe out team. So maybe that could be Decidueye. Like, you just strong team fight as an AD carry on kiting and AD carry mechanics, and when it comes to Zapdos, maybe that's your strength, that you surprise the enemy team with how fast you instantly take Zapdos by burning your Unite move, and maybe even, like, line it up to where you're on the left side of the pit, you use it, and then at least that last hit is going to pierce through Zapdos and then hit enemies that are coming through the choke point in the center of the map. Now, it does, like, scale off of missing hit points, but even then, like, they're still taking some kind of Unite move damage, and then you also have your buff from casting your Unite move, so that little extra thing going on. But yeah, for team fight ult, seems like people can just, like, easily dodge it and walk out of the way, and then that's kind of it. Unless you use that ability that, like, traps them in, but, like, you don't want to, like, if you trap them in, then you just auto-attack them and they get KO'd. If anything, you don't want to hit the person that's trapped with your Unite move, because then they're just eating it and no one else is eating it, and they were just going to get KO'd by regular damage anyways. So, some interesting things to consider or theorize or, like, theory craft with the Decidueye. That's going to be fun. But yeah, even if it doesn't have a Unite move, if it's just, like, the best AD carry, or even on par with Cinderace and just being able to run around and just melt things, because it's got a Cramorant Unite move baked into it. Like, why does Decidueye need a Unite move when one of its abilities is, like, basic abilities is literally a Unite move? So it's gonna be fun. Unfortunately, I don't get to play it for a while, so hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.